This week on NBA G League Takeover, Mac Daddy makes dunk history with a three-peat, plus a major upset in dramatic fashion, how Team G took down Team Mitch in the Rising Stars game, and later, a closer look at the up next game. All that and more coming up right now on NBA G League Takeover.
This is NBA G League Takeover, sponsored by Kumho Tire.
Welcome to NBA G League Takeover. I'm Mike Davis. If you love basketball and the NBA, well, then you're in the right place. This is the show that explores all the news you need to know about the G League and beyond. This week, we're breaking down all the action from All-Star Weekend in San Francisco. Let's bring in G League insider Gianna Hearn. So, G, we have to begin with this. Mac Daddy and the action from Saturday night. 6'2" guard Mac McClung already has quite the resume. G League Rookie of the Year, G League MVP, and now he's a back-to-back-to-back All-Star Dunk champion. People thought the Chiefs were going to three-peat. Nope. But Mac McClung did it. Gianna, you called this on our podcast. What did you think about Mac and his three-peat?
You know, I called it, but I don't know if I was as sure as what I saw. He surprised me. My question to you on the podcast was, can he be that creative? Doing it 3 times, and I think by doing an homage to the guys before him, his creativity level was off the charts.
Yeah, I mean, just the creativity, the hang time, the vertical. It was a sight to see. I think out of all the dunk contests, the 3 that he has won, I think this and the first one were definitely at a whole nother level. Last year wasn't even as good as this year. That dunk right there, and just the little things he does, the hang time, the turn, tapping the rim. It's special stuff. So here's my question to you: where does McClung's performance Saturday night and just in general rank all time for you? Are we starting to talk about Mac maybe being the best ever?
I knew you were going to put me on the spot for this. Okay, this is rough because Vince Carter, it's hard to think anyone could dethrone him. I feel like they're neck and neck. I can't say who's better because you have to give props to Mac. Someone that does a three-peat and doesn't just do these, rinky-dinky dunks. He's come out with the creativity, with the athleticism, like you talked about, his concentration. The hang time, I think, was what impressed me the most. I was like, you got it like that? Okay, Mac. Mac attack doing things in front of everyone on an NBA stage. Right. Vince Carter, though, I can't bring him down a notch. So I'm going to say they're right here.
I agree. I think, Vince is still the all-time great, but I think we're starting to see Mac get into that range of Jason Richardson, guys like, I think he's eclipsed the Nate Robinsons and, even some of those guys like the Gerald Greens. Like, you can't even compare those guys to Mac. So who knows? Maybe we'll see him and Ja and Zion, people like that in the future. But speaking of dunk contests, earlier on Saturday, the G League had a slam dunk contest of its own. And G, you were there on the call with JTA, Juan Toscano Anderson. Now, Oklahoma City Blue high flyer Logan Johnson took home the glory, but let's be real. He started out the gate kind of slow. His first dunk was frankly kind of but he turned up the heat pretty fast. Logan's second and fourth dunks were just insane, and he took down Alondes Williams. So you were on the call, G, reacting in real time. What was your reaction to Logan Johnson?
I agree with you. His first dunk, you said, I was kind of like, yeah, I counted him out immediately. Bad on my part. But I didn't think he came out with the energy he needed to. But he decided, I think, to go with a really smart attack plan. Start out with his least great dunk, and then just his second dunk was maybe one of his best, in my opinion. He got the crowd involved. Everyone kind of had whiplash. We're like, wait, was that Logan? Okay, Logan came out with something different. I did think that Alondes Williams was going to be the one to pull this one off, although I did think Jordan Jackson had obviously a chance to go back-to-back.
Right.
But Alondes Williams, he just missed his last dunk, and I think if he had had that, he might have won. But Logan Johnson, killer performance. He wore his brother's jersey, not when he played in the NBA, but in the G League. So
Yes.
Tyler Johnson, cool to see him on the sideline participating and supporting his brother.
It's really cool to see that. What was the reaction from the stands, the crowd? Who were they kind of rooting for in that big performance?
I think they were rooting for Alondes as he started out really hot, but Logan Johnson is from the Bay Area, and we were in the Bay Area, so the crowd was just going, Bay Area! And once he won the last dunk, everyone erupted. You knew what it was. They were all going after him for autographs, and I think what better way than to get the championship, to get the title in front of your home crowd.
Yeah, he had a little bit of fanfare, and I mean, he gets up there. I mean, that was the one right there, though.
Yes,
Boom.
that was kind of like done.
That solidified it. You see JTA there. Gianna was calling it in real time, so it's great to see that. Gianna, what other takeaways do you just have from the dunk contest in general? What do you think we need to see? Obviously, we saw on social media when it comes to the NBA, Ja Morant talking about maybe, McClung is calling his name a little bit because he wants to contend with a guy like Mac. What do you think we need for a little bit more juice?
Mac McClung has said that he didn't think he was going to do a fourth time. But then you see Ja talking about he might come out. And so I think you saw in the post game or the pressers that Mac might think about coming back. Now, he didn't tell me this directly, but you can kind of see it. He's one that loves this event. He said it time and time again. He's grateful to be there. So when the big stars come out, I think the competitor in Mac is not going to shy away. So I'm hoping this happens next year. But I think that's what we need in the NBA dunk contest is for the heavy hitters and then the 3-time back-to-back champ to come back and throw it down and see what we have. But you know what's interesting, Mike?
Yeah.
The dunk contest, before I covered it, I didn't understand the nerves. Juan Toscano-Anderson, he was in the 2022 NBA dunk contest, and he was talking about just the preparation it takes. I mean, you've seen the videos on social of Mac preparing with the car. He used his friend's car.
Yeah.
And then what it takes to just get over the nerves and do it in front of everyone. It's much different than a game scenario. You're kind of out there on an island by yourself.
It's a great point, and I think that's why he's had so much success beyond just his athleticism and ability to dunk and have that vertical and hang time, but it's because it means something to him. I mean, he banked a lot of money winning that dunk contest, more than he's making in the G, so it was a special thing for him, and it means a lot to him, and it's very evident. But before we go to break, we need to break down this up next game, Gianna. So 4 creator GMs had the honor of competing for the championship. 29 total players were split into 4 teams. So Team Braxton was crowned the 2025 G League Up Next champions. Team Braxton defeated Swiss Cultures 30-26 in the final. Kevon Harris with the College Park Skyhawks was named Up Next game MVP. G, you were there in real time. You interviewed Kevon after the win. So tell us a little bit about this game and just the type of performance he had.
You know what? He really didn't show out until when it mattered, which was that last and final game. So good for him getting the MVP. But overall, the Up Next game is very similar to the All-Star game for the G League. The best of the best play from the G League in this game. And Moses Brown, I interviewed him after game 1. The 7-footer was just dominating. I would have loved to see him in that championship game. Trevelin Queen, he was the MVP from last year's event. He was hoping to go back-to-back. He told me he came out doing a lot of stuff, but they just couldn't make it to the championship game. But the Up Next game, I think it showed out for all the fans. The G League has a lot of talent. We had Festus Ezeli. He was color commentating on this one, and he was really surprised at what the guys were bringing.
Yeah, it was an exciting Up Next, 4 great creator GMs and 29 total players, so a lot of fun there. But guys, coming up next, we're talking all about the biggest performers from the Rising Stars event. You don't want to miss this. Stick around.
This is NBA G League Takeover. Sponsored by Kumho Tire.
That game-winning shot and the first game. Okay, walk us through that final play and just the emotions you were feeling when you hit that shot.
Yeah. So first of all, we were trying to set up a back door for me to get an easy layup. That's why you saw me run to the rim, and I just came back out for the ball. And we needed a 3, so I was trying to create my own shot, and that's what I did, and I hit the shot, man. Yeah, I feel like, G League guys, I feel like, a good amount of them are NBA caliber players. They just need the right chance, right opportunity to shine. And with the group of guys I had today, I feel like we made an impact on today's game.
What was it like having Jeremy Lin as your coach?
Man, it's amazing. I used to watch him, growing up, him getting to it, doing his, Linsanity run. It was cool. So.
Oh, man, I'm having fun, man. Honestly, I'm lost for words right now. I got to play in front of a lot of people, got to play against the players I see on TV. It's just good. We can match our competitive level with each other and go out there and show out for the world.
And talk about the feeling you had in your heart when Bryce McClung hit that game-winning shot.
Oh, man, I knew. I already knew about this dude, man, for sure. After playing against him for over 2 years and playing against him in Showcase, I know he a dog. So when I seen him shoot it, I ain't even doubted or second guess. I knew it was going in, and he led us to the second round.
Your best play of the night was that putback dunk.
Okay.
Talk about that.
Oh, man, I seen the opportunity to go out there and, put my little landmark in the All-Star highlight reel. So, that's going to be there for a long time, and I'm glad it was me that did it.
And you consider this to be your first NBA game?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Calling it right now. So when I get up there to the A, I owe Zach Edey, for sure.
How many people are maybe even sleeping on it?
For sure. It's an underestimated league, the G League. You can see it's working. We getting everybody in the G League getting accomplishment, getting voted in and getting called up. And, we came to showcase our talent. And, we beat a team. I can live with that. We all can live with that, from a G League standpoint. So, there's going to be some people here that was playing on our team that's going to be in the NBA, like myself, hopefully, and humbly speaking. But, at the end of the day, we all dogs. Everybody in the G League, we all hungry trying to do something.
The work that I put in, I feel like it's always such a good opportunity to get a chance to perform on the stage, and so I feel like what looked like was flowing was just dedication and just hours I put in the gym in my craft. It's a special feeling. It's good to share the court with my peers, people I know and people I don't know, to now create bonds that will last forever. And so I had a lot of fun. My teammates had a lot of fun. A game like that was so much fun, and it was high intensity with both sides trying to win. Just have fun, compete. We had a speech before the game started, and we carried it, and I feel like we put on a good show for this weekend.
Yeah, our team plan was to come out and try to win both games, so didn't make that happen. But I think everyone had fun, enjoyed our time. Guys playing against those guys in the G League, and come out and play with these guys. So it was definitely a good experience for me. Yeah, I know a couple of those guys, especially like Mac and Bryce. I grew up with Bryce playing with a couple camps together, we roommates together too. So I know these guys. We play against each other, so I know the game a little bit, and the chemistry was there a little bit.
How hyped were you Bryce at that shot at the end of that first game?
Man, I was super hyped, man. Dang, man, I wish we would have won. I want to play Sunday so bad. But yeah, I'm definitely proud we won, got that first win, so we got the second one.
All right, great to hear some of the presser after the Rising Stars game. Some of the stars from the Rising Stars game. We got Bryce McGowens, we got Dink Pate, Leonard Miller, and of course J.D. Davison. So back here with Gianna Hearn. So the Rising Stars event was filled with tons of storylines, G. There was a wild ending and a major upset that took place, as we just heard, as Team G stunned Team Mitch to advance to the Rising Stars final in dramatic fashion. The Ripsody remixes Bryce McGowens hit a step back pump fake triple for the win, pulling off the upset. You see right there, McGowens dropped 12 points in the game, with Leonard Miller leading the team with 14. Also on that squad, we saw J.D. Davison speaking last at the presser, along with McClung, Reed Shepard, Pat Spencer, and of course, the really great personality, the iconic Dink Pate. So Gianna, what does this upset mean for the G in general? This was a big win and speaks volumes to what's cooking up in the G League.
I think the G League has been getting the props it's due for a while in the last couple of years, but I think now we're seeing not only can they compete, they can win at this level and against guys that are rookies or in their second year in the NBA. And so the guys that are on two ways or they're just at, the cusp of getting into the NBA that are in the G League most of the time, these guys are talented and capable. That's exactly what we saw. And of course, that I've been pulling for Bryce McGowens in the MVP race in the G League. I said it's going to be between JD and Bryce McGowens. And I think Bryce kind of not outshined, but I think he did a little bit more. I'm pulling a little bit more for Bryce, I think, than I was before.
Game winner, showed up on the biggest stage. Real quick here, G. I mean, so knowing what we just learned, maybe this gap between the G League and these young stars in the NBA, it's closer than we think.
Yeah, I think we talked about this with CJ Watson when he's here, and he thinks it's a little further. I definitely think it's closer, and that was an example of it. And, you know, I just want to point out for Dink Pate, this was a really great showing for him. We've seen people that played for Team Ignite, and like Dyson Daniels, he showed out in the Rising Stars. I think this will be another thing for people to say, who's Dink Pate? When the draft comes up, do you remember what he did at Rising Stars, how he met the moment? He didn't shy away from it. So I'm excited to see how that goes.
All right, it's a name to definitely remember. Unfortunately, though, just to continue this storyline, in the championship game after defeating Team Mitch, Team G, led by Coach Jeremy Lin, fell to Team Mullen. They got out to a 12-8 early lead, but then Team G was trying to really keep up that momentum for the previous game, but then Team Mullen closed out the game on a 17-2 run. Stefan Castle earned the Castrol Rising Stars MVP honors. All right, don't go anywhere. After the break, we're hearing from the man of the half hour again. Yes, Mac McClung. We have his thoughts on his historic dunk contest three-peat. More NBA G League Takeover is next.
This is NBA G League Takeover, sponsored by Kumho Tire.
Well, welcome back. You know that every week I pick a G of the week, and how could I not pick the three-peat king himself, Mac McClung, winning in the NBA dunk contest. He's the G of the week, but let's hear more from him after he won that championship and go to his presser.
Hey, Mac, congratulations. Mac, you always be associated with the G League in some type of capacity. You are our Rookie of the Year, our MVP, of course. What's your message to all the G League fans out there that have supported you over the years, and also the new ones because of the dunk contest?
Yeah, no, I would say I'm proud to come from the G League. I think it's an incredible league where everyone on your team, coaches, the refs, everybody's hungry, and it's an incredible league to be a part of because there's a lot of guys I've seen, you know, chase their dream and get it, and you know, people that are on their way to do that. So it's a beautiful grind, a beautiful league.
You spend a lot of time in the air. You're doing a bunch of different things to add flair to your dunk. What's going through your mind while you're up there? Like, are you hearing a song? Are you thinking about something you got to do tomorrow? Like, what goes through your mind?
I'm just thinking, please go in, ball, please. And then on the car, I'm like, please don't land on the car. But no, I think just trusting the preparation, you know, kind of go into like a flow state where you're not really thinking about anything. I feel like I've done these dunks we've been practicing for like 8-9 months. It wasn't something we picked up a couple months ago. We really, after the second one, I felt like I didn't put the performance on I wanted, and I wanted to step up, so I knew I really had to start thinking.
How do you pick what you're going to do next? Every single year you came with something special, something amazing, and everybody's on their feet watching you. But how do you pick what are you going to do next?
Yeah, I think it's important to start with maybe your best dunk. I've always thought that in all the contests to kind of get the fans on your side. And then I play it by ear, but you try to have, you know, as many 50s as you can, you know, and that's the hardest part about it, being like, you know, sending the videos to all your friends, everybody like, is this a 50? Is this a guaranteed 50? You think this is a 50? But yeah, I don't know, man. I think just a lot of preparation always helps, and I think my love for the sport and dunking, you know, helps me kind of be creative with it, as long as Chuck and all my friends.
Mac, during the dunk contest today, John Moran tweeted out, "Mac might make me dunk." And Giannis later retweeted it, saying, "If you're in, I'm in." So 2 questions there. 1, what does it say that your performance is making the best of the NBA want to join the dunk contest again? And 2, would you come back and participate again next season if those guys are in? And would you go up against them?
Yeah, I'm flattered. I think those guys are so fun to watch. Man, I love watching him. I think he's incredible. I think he'd be awesome in the dunk contest. I'd love to see that. As far as me go, I don't know. I was probably thinking about hanging up after this one, but I never want to say never.
You have won the MVP at the G League. You have won 3 trophies straight at dunk contest. Will you trade all that to have a permanent role in any NBA team, and why?
You know, I don't look at things like that. I think, like I was saying, I think I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. You know, no matter what my ego thinks or, you know, how I feel about my game, like, this is my life, and it's going the way and I'm going to keep applying pressure. I love hooping more than I love dunking, you know what I mean? So I really just am at peace with that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I'm going to keep applying pressure for sure.
You know, G, listening to that, it's just so evident. Yes, he has a baby face, but he's so wise beyond his years, and his confidence, it's so telling. He's a great face for the G and the league.
You know, I've been covering Max since he entered this league, and we both have been to 3 All-Stars. He has the trophy, though. And to see his confidence, it really has changed. It was a young, quiet, maybe unsure confidence before. Now he's cemented, and I think that is also cemented in his brain that he, like he said, is exactly where he's supposed to be, and he deserves this.
I love that. All right, guys, still to come on NBA G League Takeover. Basketball is an international game, of course. After the break, we'll highlight some of the players and their fans that proved that during All-Star Weekend.
This is NBA G League Takeover, sponsored by Kumho Tire.
Welcome back to NBA G League Takeover. So, G, let's talk about the international effect and the international stars of All-Star Weekend. Of course, you know, taking place in the Bay Area, San Francisco, a large Asian population, a lot of people coming to San Francisco for, you know, the All-Star game. So we had a lot of celebrities there. Of course, you got Keisei, you got Yuki Kawamura, all those guys playing. But there were also some stars from a Chinese street ball league, correct?
That's right. In the Rising Stars, the XBA sent 2 of their players. And Cao Feng, he was one of the guys that just took over. He actually had 2 game winners. You're looking at him right there. It was pretty ridiculous to see what he could do. You know, I was talking to the guys that were covering this game with me, Kevin Dana, alongside Festus Ezeli, and we said, are they going to let the XBA players actually play? And I'm glad they did, because Feng was unstoppable. I'm calling him Feng. His last name's Feng, but everyone was out there saying he was just giving daggers, and it was pretty interesting. The last one in the championship game, he won on a free throw. But the other ones, he was shooting threes like it was nothing. And I'm trying to remember, he actually has a nickname, but you got to go check him out because this dude's unreal.
Make sure you go do that, G. Great stuff as always. Thanks for coming back and giving us some great All-Star gear as well. We'll see you next time here on NBA G League Takeover. Until next time, I'm Mike Davis. That's Gianna Hearn. We'll see you next week.